believe we are recording. Cool. Okay. So let's get started. Marinho, actually, so what do we want to do first? The Erlang side? Let's do the Erlang side first. Let's do the Erlang side first. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to have an action dedicated to character update. So, character update. And we're going to have many things in there. And then we're going to do update. We're going to have to create a function that does that. I updated the character. And now we need to go to the schema and understand what do we need to have on hand to update the character position. Uh, okay, there is the character position table, and the primary key is the name of the character, the username of the user, the email of the user, and the map name. The map name. I don't recall. Do we have any characters already? Yes. And
We have
here
Mageta's characters,
we have Mageta's characters. Yeah. So,
Unerik and Geyserik.
yeah. First question: are we receiving the map name? I actually have no idea, but let's assume we're doing. Let's do Erlang first. So we're gonna create a function. We're gonna create a function that will pick the position, and the key, the primary keys, and we're gonna just update it. So let's do it like that. So to update this thing, what do we need? We need the name. That's true. We need the username. That's also true. We need the email because they are primary keys. Then we need the map name. Map. Oh no, this is the thing. So probably it's gonna be like this. So map name like that. And what do we want to change? We want to change the x position. So x position, and we want to update the y position. Boom. And we can get rid of all of those things. At least for now. In the future, we're probably going to update many more things. Actually, I have a question for Mageta. Mageta, if we have an updatable view, I believe we can also do updates on the view, right? Not only selects.
Yes. Well, that's the whole point, right?
Yes, so that means that we can, in the future, when we're going to be updating more things, we're going to be using the updatable view. That's cool. So I already forgot, what is the syntax in Postgres for updates?
Update table.
Update table. Oops.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
this will
mean,
be
not table,
Lyceum.
literally. I mean, table,
Oh,
like the name of the
Lyceum.
table.
Uh, Lyceum. Let's actually just do the view.
Okay.
Fernando has a good
Fernando
question.
asked, yeah, why not
Mageta,
use
please, you are our expert.
Let me see. Why not use Postgres geometric types like point? So I thought of putting that, uh, but I thought it wouldn't be necessary if we just handle with because here's the point, like the geometric types, like not only those, but also the other types, like for example, like the and then it's the fields, and then where, and then you just put
Mm-hmm.
uh, the name of the table dot the name of the field equal blah blah blah. I think the main problem with the values being maps, and like we have multiple types, right? So I think even without extensions, you have something like, for example, geometric maps. At least SQL Server does. I don't remember if Postgres has it by default or is it a library. But uh, I don't think they give you the guarantees we need. So here's what I mean. We have a Cartesian product, right? But we're not even dealing with negatives, for example. So it's not even like, for example, a full 3D. So it's literally just a range in a matrix from positive numbers up to a certain integer number. So it's literally just that. So I think anything other than that is kind of uh, just makes it. I mean, we can add it, but I don't think it will add anything else that we already don't, that we already have.
Okay, so there you have it. So email, which is text.
Like I think it's useful if you are storing stuff like, for example, just uh, let me think here. Like you can store stuff like, for example, 3D coordinates for a polygon, let's say. So I think that would be nice to do some sort of display logic with it. Um, I think, well, the point, I think you can store two. It's pairs, right? So right now we are basically storing opposites. So it's like literally the point in a plane, and then you have different uh, syntax and all the stuff for it. Uh, but again, like we would just need to limit, and they are, as far as I know, they are floats. In our case, they're just integers. Although you could use floats as well. Which one do you guys prefer, actually?
Um,
Like
For a
here
2D
okay.
game, definitely integers.
I don't think, like, here's the thing. I think I'm trying to rationalize something we didn't really think through. I just thought it wouldn't be necessary, but it might be interesting.
I actually don't know the benefits of like because like you said, on at first glance, having two numbers is kind of the same thing as having a 2D point. But what is the
So
benefit that we are gaining from it?
yeah, so here's the thing, right? You have a few
View.
types in the Postgres geometry, I think, package. If I remember, well, let me search actually. I don't know. Let me see.
Good question,
Postgres
Fernando.
geometric types.
Very good.
There we go.
One moment, please. Is this it? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, not crazy. Okay, let's see. Update, blah blah. Where, blah blah blah. Yeah.
As far as I can tell, we have four things as the primary key for the position. So username, name, email, map name. So these are on the where, and we are just changing for now just the positions.
Yeah, that seems
Cool.
to be it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so I'm looking here. Uh, okay, look at the types we've got.
I have a
Point, line,
question
segment,
actually.
box, path. Two kinds of path. One is a closed, and now there's an open path.
mm,
Uh, Polygon and a circle. I didn't know about the circle, but the others I was expecting. Uh, so you can do funny operations like belonging, right? So for example, you can make a box like a rectangle, and then you can say, is this point inside of this box? You see?
mm-hmm.
Uh, so that's nice, but in our like, would that help us? That's my question. I don't think it would. First of all, these values, they are floats, so that's one thing that I don't think we need, because it's gonna be by tiles, right?
Yes.
So it's actually finite. Uh, uh, Although I think yeah, not sure if the point allows. Let's see. Points are fundamental two-dimensional building blocks for geometric types. Value of type point can be specified using either the following syntaxes, where x and y are respective coordinates as floating point numbers. Points are output using the first syntax. So, okay. It is a floating point number. Yeah, man, I don't see like if we were doing the rendering of a Doom-like scroller, I think it would benefit substantially from doing things on the like storing this kind of stuff on Postgres. But in our case, it's just integer values, right? Ranging through a period that would change depending on the map. Even if we encode the box as the map, I think, or the polygon, whatever, I think, yeah, I don't think it would benefit a lot,
I knew.
especially for the tiles generation.
That is fair. I think Manny wants
I
to say something.
forgot. I forgot what I was going to ask. Probably not
Let's
important. If it is,
go.
I'll definitely remember it later.
So here's the thing. This
Oh, actually, I
struct.
did remember. I was going to ask. The map name is part of the primary key of the position, right?
Yes.
That means each character can have a position per map. Is that correct?
Well, it depends. I believe.
Wait. So the map table has
No, he's talking
okay
about
and
this table. He's talking about this table.
character position.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see line
So
90. We have map name as one of the primary the parts of the primary key is the map name.
uh primary key, it is a map name indeed. So that means the character could in theory be in two maps at the same time.
Yeah, is the and then Marinho is asking, do we want that property?
No, I don't think so.
So we're gonna
That's
have to
something that
rethink this
escaped.
then.
Yeah, but just don't swap it, right? Let's think of what we need to change.
Okay. This structure is almost perfect. I only need the email. So let's do that.
Well, I think I know one thing that might fix. We can just put a unique there, but I think there's something wrong with the design if that's the case.
I tend to believe you. I tend to believe you. So character
So if a position exists,
update. Feel free to make another branch, Mageta, to fix that.
let me think here.
So we don't have tuples, which
Man, I
sucks.
have to confess one thing, and it's a rant time.
Go.
I've been sleeping a considerable amount of time over the past month or so. I thought it was my sleep that was screwed, and it has changed nothing. I feel actually worse.
Well, welcome to my life. We suffer. Man, we are similar to so many things.
Man, I am like so annoyed because I've been sleeping more, and I feel worse. Like then when I slept like what 4 hours a night.
Yeah, that's tough.
Anyway,
That's tough. Mining, you have a problem.
Yes,
Do you see? Do you see this struct right here?
I do.
This struct is 99% perfect because it has the name, it has the X position, it has the Y position, it has the map name. It doesn't have the email and the username. That means that either I don't see an option. I need to make a. I would like to have a tuple here, but there are no tuples. So my understanding is that I'm gonna be obligated to make another struct.
Yeah.
I'm very sad.
That was something I was thinking about actually when I was working on the fancy message send thingy. I was trying to come up with a way to allow us to actually send tuples to Erlang. Um, I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. It probably will, but we have to. I have to make sure. But I was thinking, what if
Ooh. Interesting.
Oh, hello. What if
Hello, Yuri.
we make a special case when we are sending a union where if the type associated with a particular case of the union happens to be a tuple, we flatten that into the tuple that contains the union tag.
Mm. I'm gonna have to think more about it though. Right now, I can't do two things at once.
Okay. By the way, hello,
But that's
potato.
that's interesting idea. That's definitely interesting idea. So character.
And I think the character position table is indeed wrong. Ah, what
So
was I thinking when I did this?
maybe that we would allow more than one map per character. Maybe.
But that doesn't make sense, right? You should render only once the character. I mean, you can still know where the character is, so that's not really a problem. Uh, oh, I know. Oh man, okay. So, okay, I thought of this and then I discarded the idea, but I kept it, and I think we should not implement it now. Revisiting this, so I thought of like backtracking maps and holding the logic of the maps like this. Like for example, imagine you have a dungeon. So when you enter on it, uh, you go to a new map, right? But when you quit, you
Oh.
you would want to know exactly where you were, right? But then I
Ah.
thought, okay, like if I want to do it, it would mean that I need to stitch the maps together. You see, like I don't want to just have two entries, like a double entry for the map. That doesn't really. I mean, we can do that, but why, right? Why would I do that if I can just stitch the maps together, like the positions, uh, like position X of the edge of this map maps to the position Y of this other map. You see?
I see.
Wouldn't it be easier to make that into a single map?
Yes, that's what I meant about stitching, right? Um, but that depends on how we want to deal with this. Like we can definitely go with this, uh, but does it make our lives easier in any way?
Uh,
And it can
can't
be
tell.
very big, right? It can be a lot because it's per user, right? And these things don't get cleaned up, so
Yep.
I don't think it's a good strategy. It should be discardable, more or less.
Wait, what should be discardable?
Like, why? What we benefit from having the every position the character has ever been on the database?
Backup. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, but well, that shouldn't be the responsibility of the table, right?
That's
That's
fair. That's very fair. Uh,
Hmm.
so we have X position and Y position.
Okay.
So
I'll rethink of this design, but I think we can keep going with what we have, but I think we should change the
definitely,
abstraction later.
definitely the
I'll be
case.
right back, by the way.
Cool. Is that it, Marinho?
Let's see. A map has an action and a username and an email, the map name and the X and Y positions. Yeah, that looks okay.
So it seems that this is gonna be the sending function. It's gonna really seems like that. Okay, that's the case. Then I can remove this thing. I can definitely remove this thing. So I was kind of thinking, we retrieve the stuff. Oh, we're gonna now actually have to retrieve also. By the way, that's interesting. What are we retrieving? What are we retrieving? So do you want to retrieve only the character's positions for now, just to make it easy?
Yeah, probably.
I see. Um, okay, so I need to go back to the server.
I mean, it's not like we need to retrieve anything else yet. We don't have levels. We don't have enemies, so there's no damage, so there's no point in retrieving the health.
Yeah, we don't really have many more things that we need to receive from the server. But that's the thing. I'm really thinking, do we really need 2 steps? What do you think?
What do you mean by 2 steps?
No, it needs to be 2 steps because the first one we are receiving the data from Erlang, and the second one we are updating the server with the new data. It needs to be twice.
Yes.
Needs to be. Needs to be. Yeah. Okay, so if we're gonna receive the data, I question where were we before this? I actually don't recall. Where were we? We probably were in join. We probably were in join. So character join. Where's character? So there's a menu, character, join, join button, join. Okay. What do we do before going through the spawn? That's a very good question. Go to spawn. What do we do? We we load the model. We save it into the game state. We disable the cursor to remove the mouse, and then we switch scenes. So is this the place where we should poke Erlang and ask for the data?
Yeah, in order to show the character in the correct position, we need to get it from the server. So we should, yeah. When we start this transition to spawn, we need to ask the server for the position so we know where we are.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Okay, so let's go to the server and let's make yet another one called retrieve position. Character retrieve. And for now it's only going to be position. Okay. So let's see. Let's also update this logs. Character will be updated. And then here, character will be retrieved. And then we're going to have a function called retrieve here. What do we need to retrieve the positions? We need the same primary keys that we just listed, right, Maria? Exactly the same things. Username, name, map name, email, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff. This will return some data, and we're gonna in fact send it back. So let's make that function. So what do we want? What do we want? Retrieve. We're gonna retrieve stuff. Oops. So these 4 things are the things that we need. So we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. And now we're gonna just use the select. So select the Lyceum view character. Uh, oh, so X position. Uh, Lyceum view character Y position. And we're gonna do this where. And let's change the numbers. Boom, boom. And in fact, we actually care about this stuff. So let's do it like that. And I'm gonna assume that this function is actually correct. I don't recall at all actually what this function does. So columns and rows, what this does? Do you remember, Marinho? I think we wrote this function a little bad, a little. It's been a while. It's been a freaking while. I don't recall. I actually don't recall.
I think this was basically like a zip map or something, right?
It was something like that, but I have completely lost uh, here. So what is the type of maybe characters? What is the type of maybe characters? It's an array list. I see. I see. So that's the thing. We're gonna basically do the same thing, but we're gonna do that when going to the spawn, right? Uh, we're gonna do actually character. So character. Uh, we're gonna have to make a function for that. So receive character stats or something, and then after receiving, we need to save this stuff. We need to save this stuff. Okay, there's a problem. Maninho, there is a freaking problem.
Yes.
So when we retrieve the characters the first time, we go to the selection to the character selection thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
We already have on hand the current character. We don't need to ask it again. We already have it. It's already in the game state.
I agree.
It's called current character.
But we
So
need the position as well, which we don't have at the moment.
that is true. So let's put character position here for now. So position. Give it the allocator and all that stuff. So let's go to messages and do that. So what do we want? What do we freaking want? No, but we already have the positions also, man. Look, when we do the query, we also ask for the positions.
Oh. Oh, in that case, you don't actually need to poke Erlang at this point.
We already poked it. We already poked it. So how are we going to do
Uh,
that though?
What we do need to do is send a message saying, hey Erlang, I'm actually going to log in as this character right now. So start sending me position updates.
I don't follow. Vou comer.
Because like you said you wanted to receive the position on every frame,
Uhum.
right?
Obrigado.
So we need to tell the server that we're actually joining. So the server can start sending us updates.
I was kind of thinking that we would poke the server because to do what you said, we're going to have to introduce the notion of a session, no?
Yes, we will.
We don't. We don't have a session.
We kind of need one at this point.
So basically what you're saying is that it is time to replicate the server to spawn another process dedicated to a specific client.
Yes.
Okay? So we're going to have to learn how to do that. We're going to have to learn how to do that. Do you know how to do that?
Mm, well, when we first of all, we need to send a message to Erlang saying, "Hey, I'm joining with this character," and then in the handler for that message, we that's where we spawn the process, and then we need to send the PID for that process to the client. The clients can remember it, and then
Mm.
and
Okay.
then and then what? Actually, I'm thinking maybe we should create the session as soon as we log in, and then have a dedicated process from that point forwards.
Mm-hmm. So you're basically saying this, right? I'm gonna have to change this guy.
Yes, we will need to spawn a new process inside of this handler.
Okay, so one moment. So new new PID spawn, and then I believe module. Uh, so let's go with handle user, and we're gonna actually also share the connection to the database because now we have some sort of like master slave situation going on, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. We're definitely gonna do that. I don't remember what
Actually,
the register serves though.
actually, we should probably do that after we check the user's credentials, no?
Mm-hmm. Also true. So here, right?
Right, and then we need to send the new PID as part of the reply, so the client can say, okay, I'm going to talk to this guy now.
Oh wait, so that means that now we need to save who we are talking to.
Yes, and we can stop sending the PIDs on every message.
I see. I definitely see. So let's make that function. Let's make that function. So handle user. We're gonna see the connection to the database, and I
I do have a
believe
question though. Is it safe to share the connection like this?
that's a very good question, man. That's an awesome question, which I have absolutely no idea at all. I have no notion. Maybe it's gonna be hellish. Maybe we're gonna like it's not transactional, it's not idempotent and all that crap. It's gonna break in our faces.
Gonna blow up. uh, oh, I guess we can try it like this, and if it fails, we can fix it.
I think all of these things now need to move to the handle user. Agree?
Let's see, character list, character creation, character updates. Yes, they should.
Bye bye. You now live here. You now live freaking here.
We should
So
probably give the PID to the user trying to log in to the handle user as well.
oh yeah, that's true. So user PID. And I need to call myself recursively. So user
That's
PID.
backwards, by the way.
That is backwards. Boom. And uh, now uh, there was something I was about to do. There was something I was about. Oh yeah, here, specifically here. So I need you also to provide as an argument the user PID. So I believe it's gonna be this, right?
Yes, it should be.
And now we are saying, dude, your new agent. Let's say that the one that is responsible for dealing with you right from now on. It's gonna be this
This
guy.
guy.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be this guy. We kind of need to be very careful with this, man, because we can spawn like now many processes now.
We should probably add a timeout to the process saying, hey, if the user doesn't say anything for like, I don't know, a minute, maybe that's too much actually. But if the user doesn't say anything for a given period of time, then we just do the process, drop the connection. The user will have to log in again.
1 minute is it's very little, man. I was kind of thinking 5 to 10 minutes.
But you are thinking in terms of human actions. But even if the player doesn't do anything, the client in the background is gonna exchange messages with the server, no?
That's actually a good question. Should we do that?
We may have to actually.
Hmm. That would be kind of a system of I'm alive, I'm alive.
Yeah, like a heartbeat or something.
Heartbeat system. That's the name.
It shouldn't bleed though. That would be bad.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Um, um, so you said that we don't need to send the PID anymore, right?
We don't because we already sent it once, and this process is going to handle the connection from that point forward. So there's no point in sending it over and over again.
That is the case. So let's get rid. Feels good. Oops, not that.
Oops.
Feels good to do this, man. We're gonna have to do less stuff. That's very awesome. And then we're gonna go to here and say replace PID user PID. Boom. Okay. Awesome. So now let's think. Now
We can also
let's.
get rid of all of those selves because, again, that's not needed.
Oh, the client will now remember us. That's cute. We're gonna be
I mean,
remembered.
why not? Why not?
We're gonna be remembered, man. That's awesome. That's very cool. I don't want to do. I don't think I want this string here though. Let's put it okay. Okay. Same thing here. Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
That's an improvement for sure. That's definitely an improvement. How to add the timeout?
Uh, we can spawn a helper process. Hmm.
That doesn't
That's a
seem
good
very pro.
question, actually. I'm not familiar enough with Erlang standard library for how to wait, how to wait for some time.
How to wait early. Hmm.
But yeah, but basically, I was thinking we can have a helper process that's dedicated to waiting, essentially.
Yeah, but that seems a little bit
And
overkill. The process, the handler of the user should be able to wait by himself. We like spawning because now that means that every single user spawns two processes.
and
I don't think do we want that?
I'm
Isn't that
back.
bad?
Wow,
why
we've got
would it
quite an
be?
audience today.
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Magetta.
Welcome back.
So what? Why are you
Okay,
searching for a timer?
we are searching because Marinho had an epiphany, which is that in order to make this exchanging of messages of characters' positions right, we need to finally spawn a separate handler for that specific user that just logged in. So instead of
Okay.
having a single process that handles everything, once you
Mm-hmm.
log in, the master will spawn a slave and say, now you are the guy responsible for this user.
Right.
So that means that now we're going to have the user, this handler will exist solely for the purpose of handling this user. And then there was a follow-up question that now that you are here makes way more sense to ask, which is, we are sharing a connection to the database. Should we do that, boys?
Okay, that's a good question. So here's the problem. I think connections they are less worse than doing a session. So for example, when you do okay, now Postgres, man, the problem of this is that we're using Postgres, so we gotta think of Postgresisms, right? So uh, like search for this command here. I'll tell an anecdote that will hopefully piss you off as well. Search for set row Postgres, not a row, like a row, like a my role in a grand stage of things in life.
Not
Like
this one.
stage role, like role, like
Oh,
R
this
O.
Double
one.
L.
Yes, this.
Oh,
Okay,
LE. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, you have this that basically it's used mainly for uh, uh, row level security, right? So I was doing this something with this with my friend, and then we like thought it was weird that it was spawning npg SQL, the Postgres handler for .NET, right? It
No.
was spawning a new like resetting the session all the time, like using this command, and it takes a while. So like the command was actually just like milliseconds, like very tiny uh, amount of time,
Yep.
but this time took like a lot of time. And then I was like, what's happening? And then I discovered that each time you do a transaction in a shared connection, it sets the role, uh, the cleanup from the handler in the transaction cleans the role, so you have to set it up again. You
Why?
see? Yeah. So I'm more concerned about the library, like how the library we are using, like EPG SQL in this case, how it handles the connection pool than actually Postgres, because that's usually where the problem is at. So I think what we should do is instead do a like pick some connection pool, search for like Postgres connection pool Erlang, something like that. I know there's Erpool, so search for that. Erpool pool, I guess.
Like this?
Yes, yes, like Whirlpool. Yeah, yes. This it's a round robin, so it's for like yeah.
Huh.
Let's see. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, we could do it ourselves, but if there's a library, cool.
But do we know how to do
Uh,
that though?
scroll down. No, if there's a library, I prefer not to. um,
That's fair.
I had to do this in Erlang, by the way.
Oh.
No, sorry, in Emacs Lisp.
Oh.
Uh,
Of
for the
course.
yeah,
You're beloved.
my beloved. Okay, it seems quite easy to use actually. So you just start. Okay, scroll down, please. No, that's the supervisor. Okay, so you gotta set up a behavior, I suppose, and then you can use stuff from the behavior. So that seems alright. So keep going, keep going. API. Okay, so start pool. Okay, that seems to be very straightforward, I guess.
Very amnesia.
Well, that's a little dangerous, right?
It's just a little. Just a
It's like
tiny bit
amnesia.
dangerous.
Maybe it's not that great. Okay, scroll down a little bit more.
Okay, just for me to understand, what we are doing here is we are searching for a way to have safe shared connections to the same database using a round robin schema, apparently.
Um, the problem is like we can share or we can start the connection. I think depending on, well, that will largely depend on what we're doing. Like uh, because it's very the nature of our application is very okay. Should I go on a rant and go all the way down?
What? What?
No, I'll not.
Sure.
I'll not. I'll just go on the short route without explaining stuff. I already went through this multiple times. So since we have it all on fifth normal form, uh, that means that we can access only things by the key and solely by the key. That's a pun if you read the book, by the way. But anyway, that means that we can access only the data that concerns this user. That means that largely the transactions they're not going to be uh, they're not going to depend on each other, so they can't it's well, at least I can't think right now of a scheme of in our schema a place where they can lock apart from, like, for
Yeah,
example,
that's a good question. Marinho, do you
uh,
see a way that we can lock stuff?
I can see a few, but I think we are very far from that. Like, for example, trading items between characters, let's say, or shared experience. If you're gonna do that, I don't know.
PvP.
So apart from this kind of stuff that interacts like between user A and user B, I can hardly think of a
Okay,
case.
so
Like
we definitely
I don't
should
know.
not. Okay, let's make a to do. So to do, we should not just keep passing, oops,
If I
connections.
stop replying, it's because I fell asleep. So
Sure. We should not keep passing connections here. This is dangerous for interactive. And I think that's gonna be the
well, not really. Like the okay, yeah. On the current design, it will open a new connection every time. So that is fine.
no,
But
no,
I
no, no,
mean,
no.
in the
In
future,
the
they're
current
fine.
design, it won't. We only create the connection once.
Oh, I see. So you just spawn the process. I
Yeah,
see.
we keep
Use it.
passing the connection like the key to the for the gate for everybody. So if I connect, if you connect, I don't know,
Right,
Marinho,
right.
everybody's gonna have the key.
Yeah, it's basically my event sourcing system. 4 messages per second, by the way. That's the peak.
Yeah, but you are now
People
a
have.
senior engineer. You're designing a new one, Mageta. Look at that.
Wow, I'm so happy. I'm about to make my own event sourcing library in JavaScript just to ruin it more.
JavaScript.
You sound very fulfilled.
So it feels like a Trojan horse, 'cause that's what it is.
Okay.
Should I make one for Sal, just in case?
Nah, I need to actually get started on the runtime implementation. I have a fairly solid idea of what I need to do after thinking for a long time. I just need to get to it and actually start writing code.
Yeah, then I'm gonna try to help as well because now I know a little bit of Zig to help. Okay,
I
so
can
let's.
help making a logo.
Yeah, that's definitely use your artistic powers.
Well, none, basically.
Well, that's also my case, but look.
Actually, it's funny because I discovered a good. Uh, well, I did a bit of painting, but I am a good drawer. I really wasn't expecting to
I
be
suck.
decent.
I think I suck at if it's artistic, I suck. That's basically my rule.
I'll show a drawing I made later. But anyway, it's guess what? Young Lee again.
So let's continue here. So what else do we need to do aside from having this to do here? We
We
should
need the
not do
hope.
that, but we are gonna do it. But the difference that we are aware we should not do it, which matters.
But we're doing it anyways.
But we are doing anyways. So I think
That
from
makes
the,
it less wrong. So
sorry,
that makes it a little bit less wrong.
yeah, it's less wrong. I agree. And we are documenting it. Not only we are aware, but if we forget, we're gonna read it again. Haha, that's
That's a
persistency.
method of rationality.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I think we are done on the server side. Like, just like we are basically again in the login action. When the user press the button to login, we're gonna spawn a new process for it. We're gonna inform the client that hey, this is your new guy. I'm not your guy anymore. Uh, and that's it. That's basically it. So I think we can safely rename this to I don't know, handle master. Cool. Um, Now, if okay, let's show Magetta the how the things are going here. So Magetta, this is the retrieve function that we made because here's the deal. In a frame, we're gonna ask for the data for like, hey server, where am I? And then the server will tell you, you are in these two positions, my friend. And then you move, and then
Well, it
after you
will
move,
not only do that, it will say you are okay. You're sending the map name. That makes sense. But
yeah.
okay,
And then at the end of the frame, we're gonna
how would you know what's the map name?
how what?
Like, think of this, right? The map name is a dependency uh, for you to update there.
Yeah.
as it should, right? Because of what we were discussing. But that means we need to store on the character. Like we need to store somewhere what was the map the player was at.
But we have that. The
Because
updatable view gives us that information. Look.
here's the thing: the updatable view, like think of this: the game dies, okay, and then it loads back up.
Sure.
This this table, the character position, which I think is where this thing is coming from. Go to the main dot SQL. Uh, there. So character position. That's it. Map name. Is it anywhere else? No. Okay, perfect. So it is on 107. That's where the map name is. So
Yeah.
oh man, I can see the problem already. Kill me. So that table we were planning of storing multiple, right?
Yeah.
So you don't see the problem still?
No, I think we see the problem because we decided that we're not going to allow a character to be available in multiple maps.
Yeah, but then we gotta change. I mean,
No,
gotta
Can't
change
we
the
just remove
relationship.
the map name from the primary key?
We can, but here's the problem. Uh, mm, yeah, we can. Then one character is only allowed in one place. That's fine. You
yeah,
can
no, I'm not going
simply
to do it
remove it.
right now because I don't want to open the beaver and drop the stuff
Ah,
and do
right.
it again.
Drop. Although we have a down script, but anyway, like the problem of this way right now is because you might have potentially multiple fields, multiple records, multiple tuples rather, with different map names, for the same character, right? For the same user, whatever. And then what will happen is that on the code, when you try to update it, it's gonna give you two values.
Yeah, but that's not the case, friend.
But then you say, okay, that cannot be because you know the map. But you only know the map because you query the updatable view, so it's a cyclic.
No,
You
I
see?
understand that it's just a thing of coincidence. Nothing would guarantee that we would have this particular like guarantee. But given that we know already ahead of time that in the database there is a character called with Gazeric, which has this email, this username, these positions, and this map, I think we are safe. And then we need
Asterisk.
to yeah,
Yeah,
and then
but
we need to
I
change.
meant from the application state running, right? That's for now since we're testing fine. But if there was one more, then we
Yeah,
would
we would be
always just
fucked.
update the
Yeah,
first record you
yeah,
find,
that's
right?
definitely the
Which
case.
is yeah.
Definitely the case. Um, cool, cool.
And let me see if I can save my Mega Drive.
Okay, but I think that's it, right, Marinho? I think this is the retrieve function. Oh, that's
Yeah,
actually we're not done because the reason we did this is because you said that we're not gonna have to poke the server for it to give us this stuff, right?
well, we need to poke it to say, okay, we're entering the world with a character, start sending me updates.
Yeah, but
But
what
then we don't need to poke it anymore after that.
exactly? But what is the semantics of you don't need to keep poking anymore? I'm gonna do quotes, continue sending stuff. How are we gonna do that?
Uh, well, the handle user would probably need to.
Oh, we actually need a new thing in here. In fact, we need a way to say what you just said. We need to communicate that we are joining a world. So joining world. We are joining a world. And if that's the case, we're gonna do something which I don't know yet.
I wonder if handle user should be, instead of being a single process, maybe a tree of processes, because we need to do a couple things. We need to receive messages from the clients, right?
Yeah,
We need to
Marinho.
Lemons, you drop.
No, I dropped because Discord started doing nonsense.
Yes. So we need to continue receiving messages from the client and responding to them. That's what handle user is already doing. Then when the client joins the world, we need to somehow keep sending regular updates to the user about what's happening around his character, right? Ah, and I think the cleanest way to do that is to spawn another process. But then handle user will need to be aware of that process and handle its lifetime.
That's amusing. Let's ask
Ah,
Magetta. Maybe Magetta knows Magetta.
Hmm?
So here's the situation. Uh, Marinho proposed that once we have a specific process for us as the client, we should implement the server in a way that keeps, quote, keeps sending data to the client continuously. We don't need to keep poking the server every time we want the data.
Like a stream,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Just
And
keep
then,
flowing with the
but we
current
don't know
data.
how to do that. So Marinho said that we should start doing that process once the client knows, hey, I'm about to spawn in a map. And then we're just trying to understand how can we do that? How can we make, quote, continuously sending data to the client?
I think I know. You just make, well, you just make database. So, okay. It's a funny. Okay, let's think for a second because I see two possibilities. The naive one would be you query the database all the time on Erlang, right?
Yeah, but will you do that on
But
a timer basis? How do you
yeah,
know it's
no,
time
no,
to send data?
you just make a process running, and then well, the process would have a timer to space down the
Okay, so we
data,
would
right?
have a timer.
Yeah, you can just use the timer, put there, and that's fine. You can even do the timer. But that'll be bad, right? An exponential timer. That's terrible. Never mind. So anyway, you get the timer, and then you do pings on the database, and then you just keep flowing the information as it is. But that's still like that's just shoving the calls somewhere else. I mean,
Hmm.
it's slightly better because now Zig doesn't have to call the backend, and the backend has to call the database. It's the backend querying directly. But that's still bad because you're still doing multiple calls at the same time. There is another feature though that I think we could use, which is the notification from Postgres. So search for notification.
So notification.
I think it was notification, not sure. Notify. There we go. So it's like a if I recall correctly, it's like a pub sub, and then if Postgres posts something there, it will spawn a process on the client side, uh,
Yeah, but
and then you just
how that's gonna happen with the library you're using though?
yes, no idea.
Oh,
So
cool.
so it's a little of exploration for that.
Okay, so EP
Let me see
SQL.
if I'm not saying BS, man. On SQL Server, I did this, but Postgres, I never used it for real.
Sure. So if I do
I'll
a
Ah,
be right
control
back.
F on notify.
Marinho
Ooh,
was going to say something. What is it, Marinho?
Postgres may deliver two types of asynchronous message. Notices in response to notice and warning messages generated by the server, and notifications which are generated by listen notify mechanism. So apparently we can use it. There's even, yeah, there's functions.
Wow, that's very convenient.
So disable notifications. I'm gonna assume C is the connection. I'm gonna assume C is the connection. Uh,
Yeah, very likely.
so let's see if I understood correctly. We want to make a notification system to be the trigger to send the new data to the client.
Here, let me read the thing properly. The notify command sends a notification event together with a optional payload string to each client application that has previously executed listen channel. So you're gonna
Hmm.
listen as the the application, and then it's gonna keep trying to update you.
Yeah.
And then if you have the different information, I think you can just stream it, right? You don't need. There's no need to keep sending the same data over and over.
Yeah, so basically it seems to be what I said. We're gonna be idling every time. Once we
What would
get
that be
notified
for?
via the listen channel, we're gonna dispatch
Oh,
that.
I think that will be for different users, right, on the same map. Would
Uh,
that?
I don't think so because we're gonna do the listening from each individual sub process for the user session.
Why if it's from this user already? In theory, you already know the information, right?
Uh,
It's only you yourself that can change it.
no, I don't follow. I don't follow. Could you repeat that?
Like, why would you listen to data that you yourself is producing?
Why
Like,
would you
for
listen
example,
to
I
yourself?
log in as my character, like a mage Magida, and a
Yeah,
dark wizard, which is a game, by the way, for this Sega CD.
sure.
Uh, what a dumb name.
No,
Anyway,
not dummy, but
so
what a nerd.
yes, I log in as my dark wizard, and then uh, I walk. Let's say that modifies my position, right?
Yeah.
That will update, and then what do you want to do? You're gonna get notified because of my update.
No, 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 no. Let me explain what we were thinking before doing when you left. We were thinking of a two-step process, right? So let me go to the Zig here. So imagine that this is the function that will do the entire handling of the you walking in the world and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking that in the beginning of everything, you poke the server, so poke the source of truth to to reflect the game state,
Poke the source of truth to
to
reflect.
reflect to reflect the game state, and then at the end of everything, we're gonna do send the modifications back to source of truth.
Uh,
And then we would do this every single frame,
so every frame you would get the information,
modify
then
it a
Send back.
bit,
and
and
then
then the delta of the changes that you
and
did.
then why would you get it back again the next frame?
That's exactly what I was going for. Because in the sense you're right. Why are you just doing that? Why are you um, you said it in a way that was correct. Why are you reading yourself? I guess.
Yes.
And the reason is because the client is not the source of truth.
Oh,
If
it
I
should be.
die in the middle of it,
Uh, it should be partially. I mean, if you die and you restart, that's fine. But you shouldn't be checking either. So if you lost the information in between, well, that's bad. But c'est la vie.
okay, so basically what you're proposing is instead of assuming that the entire, because here's the thing, and this is a very recent thing. Zozing is making a game as well, a multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm.
He's using way less autistic technology, so he's using JavaScript and he's using Node and
Okay.
HTTP.
Well, isn't that autistic technology?
No,
Technology.
we are doing way more autistic than him. Come on.
Oh, that's also autistic technology, but mm,
And then he said something that I think we should discuss about. I talked to about this with Mani. Zozin said that his understanding of a multiplayer game is that if you have I don't know two clients, if you have two clients and one server to have in a multiplayer configuration, all these three entities they should simulate the game internally, and at some point they should synchronize and say, here's my state, let's clean up all the inconsistencies between these three simulations. And I thought that we would do something radically different than this because we will not simulate the game in Postgres. We will not simulate the game in Erlang. We would only be saving the information that the client was telling us it is true.
then you need to rely on the client to be the source of truth, which is the opposite of what you said.
Yeah. So I'm just explaining this so then Mageta can understand that for us to double check or maybe triple check, if we don't go with the route that it's already like Zozin already documented the entire process and it works. Are we sure that we are not missing anything doing the other way around, having the client as the source of truth?
Well, the client is not a source of truth. Just the thing that's tied to the user.
Well, but the client it is at least half source of truth because it, it is not asking anybody about what is true. It is establishing what is true.
Now,
Yes, which
technically, the
well,
only thing that the client is the source of truth about is the user input.
yeah, exactly. Which is kind of what you said, Lemos. I don't think you noticed that. Like
Wait, what
the
part?
source of truth is the user.
No, I
The
understand
what
that.
I mean by source of truth is the storage, right? That's the who dictates the rules to be correct or wrong, right?
No, what I meant to say is social truth being if I have the client saying X and the server saying Y and they are inconsistent, which one should I believe in?
The
But
server,
man,
because this is an MMO.
here's the
The
thing. Like
server. Go on,
man,
Magenta.
here's the problem. You imagine like this. You are gonna do this every few frames. I don't know how you're gonna do every few frames, but let's suppose
We
you
can
do.
do it.
So you send a message and then you say, I am on this position. And the user is seeing the character on a position XY. And then you send and update the message, right? And then it somehow delays a little bit. It
Hmm.
updates eventually, but it updates like 20, 20 frames later. You
Yep.
move like 10 frames later. And then the character, now you receive that it's in another position, which is not what you are, which is the position you were before. What do you do? Do you teleport the user, the character, to that position?
A lot of MMOs do that.
That's lag.
I
But
think that's
Sure.
rubber banding.
But that's lag. I agree on that.
I don't
Hello?
know, man. To me, for a few things, it doesn't make sense to do this.
Okay, so let's try with because that's actually easier even. Like not having to poke every time. That's gonna be less expensive and it's gonna be easier to just send.
Like for me, like for the user, they shouldn't notice the lag on themselves moving. But of course, other people will see because they depend on the server. And there's still just one source of truth. There's not two. It's just the user perception is different.
I agree. Like again, I'm not saying that the server is not partially the source of truth. I'm just trying to say that if if they are both if they are inconsistent with each other, which one should I believe in? You are telling me that, as far as my understanding goes, that I should believe the client because that's the closest one to the
No,
user.
you should believe the client for the user. Like for user, okay. Uh,
For user
let's not
inputs,
assume. Sorry, Marinho. What?
User
we
input, he
should
said.
believe the client for user inputs.
Yes, because that's what is originating the information.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair. So,
But again, like another, if I log in on the same map and I see your character, I'll see you teleporting.
yeah. Yeah. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's try to finish the server implementation because we need to implement the whole continuously sending information. Before we do anything, we need to implement that. So, how should we do that? In fact, how should we do that?
Uh,
So there is the timer, which I was researching. There is the timer functions. So you provide a value and all that fun stuff. Oh, I can even queue the process. Okay, so this is how you do it, actually. Maninho, I think that's how we're
Uh,
gonna do it, man.
we we can just do that unconditionally because Here's the thing. The point of the timeout is to say, okay, the client didn't send anything to the server for the last, like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 seconds, whatever. We need to figure out the timing. But if the client does send something, we need to reset the timer.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. We need to know, is there a reset function?
Why? Well, to me, it would be just a loop with a timer in it, and then you just keep waiting the thing, so you don't need to reset any timer.
Okay, so let's do it the way that Magetta said. Uh, so we are already in a loop, by the way.
Yeah, that'll be another.
There will be another loop. Interesting.
There's another.
Uh,
Wait,
the
depends. Do you want to lock the thing or no?
No, the idea is that if the timeout, like timeout, we finish the sessions of the user and the client will go back to the main menu, obligating you
That's
to
not,
restart the thing, to relog in.
yeah, like if there's a there's connection loss or something, and the user doesn't send anything to the server for some period of time, we want to kill the connection because otherwise we're gonna have this process hanging around forever, and
Yes.
we don't want
So
that.
you would just receive this action joining world the first time, right? The
Yes,
user
yes,
joins.
yeah.
So just make call a function.
Call
Call
of
it like string user. I don't know, user string.
user data.
Yeah.
And then what do I pass? I believe I'm gonna have to pass this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pass the data you're gonna use to connect, which is the PID, and then you on this function
On this function.
just do it like a call itself, like call a timer, call itself, and then before the timer
Call a
you call
timer.
the database.
Okay, so call a timer.
I think the function should be actually a process,
Oh,
like
so we
spawn.
will do. Okay, so everything converges to Marinho being right. Okay, Marinho, congrats.
More processes, more power.
More power.
Okay, so we're gonna
Processes are
spawn
metabots, confirmed.
stream user data, user PID. What should we do with the PID of this new stream user data, by the way?
Well, nothing.
Okay, so you're just gonna spawn it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Uh, well, technically, I suppose we should remember it and possibly
Uh,
kill it later.
Semicolon, by the way, instead of colon. Or comma. Oh yeah, you should remember. That's right.
Okay, so we're gonna remember, and this is gonna be the
Otherwise,
stream ID. Well, let's
Yeah,
put
that's not
stream
gonna
PID.
work actually,
Go.
um, because we would need to add this to the parameters of handle user in order to remember it across
oh, we can.
iterations. Yeah, we can, but this is not purely local to this case, I guess, of the receive.
Yeah, no, but it isn't just a matter of putting, I don't know, an atom here, like do.
Yes.
Don't rely on that.
Don't, I'm not relying on it. I'm just saying we can do that. PID.
I think we should call like state and then you pass a map, right? But for now, you just have one, so it doesn't matter.
No, wait, that's actually a very good idea. I like that. State.
Well, in that case, you only need one parameter, right?
Yes, exactly.
Sure. So we're gonna put. I don't remember. Man, I keep forgetting. What is the fucking syntax? So user,
Symbol,
and then I think it's the fat arrow.
yes, the fat arrow.
So that connection. And we're gonna do
Let's see what's going on this server.
so like that, like freaking that. And then we want to pattern match on some things. So let me remember how the heck to do that. This is how you do that. That. And then what we want to do, we want to have the user PID. We want to have the connection. And we also want to have the stream.
Actually, we
Ooh,
don't want a pattern match on that there. We want to check when the
that's true. So
yeah,
this
we
is
just
actually
want to check.
state.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we want to check?
Oh, but then you would need to hmm, you need to put the tail call inside of the receive, I think.
You need to put the tail call inside of the receive. Oh, do you mean
Because you're
calling the function
updating.
recursively?
Yeah, because you are updating the state in one of the clauses now, right?
Yeah, I think you are correct. So you're basically saying that we should do, I guess, handle user. And how do I extend a map?
Pretty sure there's a built-in for that, but I don't recall the name off the top of my head.
Nobody does. Nobody does. So how do you using map syntax? Okay, so there is this. Okay, okay, I see. So you just do the hashtag and then I assume, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna do state. We're gonna do state, and then we're gonna do stream PID fat arrow. Oh, actually, not fat arrow. Why? Why did they do it like in the update? That's
I
weird.
have no idea.
That's kind of inconsistent. We're gonna have the stream PID here. And there. Okay. Okay. So what should we do in the stream user data? Magetta?
Just a sec. I'm
I
By
looking
have
the
a.
at.
way,
We should probably pass the
that's
state here.
that's not a tail call.
What do you mean?
Because
Nani?
you are growing the stack, you still need to call the handle user after the receive after that.
But I'm still doing that.
Yes, which means the other one doesn't is not a tail call. But also, we should probably check if we already have a string PID before doing that.
That is true. We should do that if. So there should be an if. The problem is that man, the syntax of for ifs is so fucking weird that I keep forgetting. But okay, uh,
Just match on the state. That's easier, no?
just mention the state. So you're saying case state of. I remember having,
Yes.
yeah, I remember having this stuff. So this is the case where we do have it. Is where we
If we
we
do have it, we probably shouldn't spawn another one.
we probably shouldn't. We definitely shouldn't actually. Boom. And then what should we do? What should we do? We should probably log an error saying uh, we tried to join two worlds at once. Bruh. Uh, stopping right now.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not really stopping because you're still calling handle user after that. Okay.
I was kind of thinking of killing the session
I guess that works.
because if this to be true, that means that somebody is logged with my account on another computer using my stuff.
Or the client is faulty.
Or the client is faulty. That's fair. But it's not going to be faulty because we are the ones doing that. So how do I queue this process? Does anybody know? So how to queue a process? Erlang. How to queue Erlang finish a process. finish. So there is exit, huh? So let's see. Where can I have some? Where can I where can I search for stuff? Oh, here. Exit. Erlang exit. Oops. Sends an exit signal with an exit reason to the process or port identified by
I
PID.
think if you I think if you call it with just one argument,
It's gonna kill itself.
it's gonna commit suicide.
Yeah. So let's close.
Bazaar!
So we're gonna do that, and the reason should be an atom. Okay.
Double
So
login or something.
double joining. Double joining. That's cool. So in the case of something else, which I actually don't know if we care. Maybe we don't care. Yeah, I don't think we care. Then we're gonna do this thing, and then that thing, and then that thing. Is this how you do that though? I'm kind of.
You're missing the arrowhead from the arrow.
Oh, that's true. Okay. So now we are verifying if somebody is trying to not follow the rules. Not follow the rules.
Yeah, I think you should somehow finish that case statement. Otherwise, you're gonna do the wrong thing for the other clauses from the outside, from the thing on the receive, right?
Which case statement you're talking about? This one?
Yeah, that's really close, is it?
Oh, there is an and. You are correct. Which means that this is this. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I wanted to say? I want to say that I'm too SML brained. But SML also has the and on the case, so that's okay. Cool. Cool. So what should we do in the stream user data function? What should we do in the stream user data function? I'm kind of thinking maybe, maybe we should also do timeout PID. What do you think, Bunny?
I guess.
Um, timeout user. Timeout user. And we're gonna put timeout as the timer out PID. And, and, which is rather interesting, I think we should probably do something along the lines of a new state, and then this, and we should pass the new state to this guy. We should pass the new state to this guy. The problem is that there's no timer PID here yet. Oh, let's copy all of this, put in there, boom, PID, and now we are talking.
That's
Now we're
not
talking.
gonna quite work, by the way.
Reason. Tell
The
me.
string PID key that you're using is different from the one that you are matching in the case.
I don't understand the problem.
Like you're gonna add a string PID key to the map,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then later,
I'm stupid.
yeah,
Which I think that kind of means I should also put this here. Oh, this is wrong in fact. This is actually wrong. Is that it?
I guess. The syntax is kind of funny though.
What looks funny?
The map update syntax.
Yeah, no, this is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But okay, so uh, I think we should probably the easier function probably is timeout user. So we have state in here. It's kind of funny how every time when we are using Erlang, we kind of go to this Like, let's just call ourselves recursively. Let's make tail call. FB is kind of very natural in here. Like, canteen is the other main example of what the heck we did there, but that's cool. Uh, yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah, yeah,
very weird how you can just track a little bit of these weird people, and then you just find other weird people as well.
yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Like I was looking at this Satanist, right? He has a course, initiation to Luciferianism. He's Brazilian and all of that. So I looked in this course, and then he talks about Wilhelm Reich, so William, right? Wilhelm. And then I went to look at the guy, and I immediately saw, well, the name looks German, and then the guy's from Austria, so Austria-Hungary. And when I read that, I already was expecting Freud, Jung, and all these people. And then magically, I opened his Wikipedia page, and the guy was involved in the sexual revolution of the 60s, uh, studies in Freud, uh, Marxism. He made a thing called Freudian Marxism. The guy, it's a very weird individual. Like you just go backtracking weird people, and then you find other weird people. Impressive. Anyway,
Uh, I see. So I kind of had an epiphany while Mageta was ranting.
Okay.
My understanding is that all of these processes stream user data, which apparently I think is going to listen from the database, and the timeout user to check of the if we are idling for too too long. These guys will also send stuff to this other process handle user, right? They're gonna have to kill each
Will
other
they?
like in a sequence or something.
We can make. I wonder how difficult it would be to make this a supervision tree where, like, I guess handle user would be the supervisor of the other two processes. Or maybe we should make a separate dedicated supervisor to all three of them. And then if any of them die, the other two must die as well.
Okay, but the only way that I could think of that is to just like because I added here, you see? I'm adding the this handler's identification to the map, and this will be available for both the stream user data process and also the timeout user process. They will have access to know, okay, I died, bud. Please also die you, and then we're gonna receive here and die ourselves. You see?
That's a lot of death.
Oh yeah. But your supervisor idea, does anybody know how to do that? Mageta, do you know how to do that?
what? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What is it?
Uh, so Marinho had an idea, which is to make, because now we have three processes going on. We have one of them that we're going to use to do
Two
to
strings,
stream the
okay.
data from the database using the notify system.
Mm-hmm.
We have another one to check for idling from the user, and we have the handler for the user session, which is this one.
Okay.
And then Marinho had an idea
The
of
one that usually
making this guy the
logs
supervisor
out.
of these other two, or something.
Right, and just cleanups, right?
Yeah,
Or
but I
maybe
don't.
make a top level supervisor for all three of them. The point being, this is looking a lot like. This is starting to sound a lot like what a supervisor tree is supposed to sound like. So why not just use something from there if it covers our use case?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
does
makes
anybody
sense.
know how to do that though?
I I mean, I read this on the book, but I don't know. I have no idea.
That's cool.
And I don't think it's like trivial to write one on the behavior you actually want.
Oh, we're gonna have to use behaviors.
Yes, behavior is how you improvise.
We're gonna have to
Like we
use
already are
behavior.
incorporating one. If you
No, I
go
remember
up,
that. I remember that. But how can you have more than one behavior per file?
yeah, it's meant. This is like a interface. You are. applying it, but
Ah,
it also has a life on, so we can do stuff in the background.
I see. So, Marinho, would you say that the reuse supervisor is the handle master? Would you
Yeah,
say that?
that would be the top level, I guess. Well, not quite, because if for some reason the handle master dies, he needs to resurrect actually. That's the
That's
one
okay.
that has to be immortal.
Oh, that one I think we can encode on, like it's guaranteed not to die by the application ability if we spawn it on the top level.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I don't know how we're gonna do. We are using the application behavior, and as far as I can tell, the start function is mandatory for this interface to be implemented. Uh, and this is what is spawning the handle master. Can we spawn a thing that should be the supervisor? How does that work?
Oh, it's just another, like if that thing dies, right? Uh,
That's quite interesting. Quite interesting. what are, what's up with the names?
okay, this is like a Mortal Kombat. I'm
uh,
thinking here now. I don't know how this application behavior is, but I think that everything that is on the start, it will be restarted if it dies. But if the thing that you spawn in it dies, then I think that's not gonna work. So,
okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um,
however, what's the output? Oh, wait a second. Yeah, yeah, I see. So we should start. Okay, we are not linking stuff, right? You can even see on the right, it's using something else, but the supervisor gives you a start link. You see?
yes, I see that.
We don't have that on our behavior application. We should look at how to behave based on that.
Okay, so
But
application
we should,
behavior.
yeah, I remember reading about links. Like we should do something that will keep watching for this PID. If it dies, it just spawns a new one. But man, like for now, like just ignore this. I don't think we need to care. Like, okay, we're gonna need to care for at least one process doing the cleanup. That you can do right now, but the top level uh, resurrection, I don't think you need to care.
Okay, Okay, let's not do that right now then.
Just do just stop the other two, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
So
instead of doing this, man, why don't you do the string data feature completely before?
sure. Let's do that. Ah. So let's comment this. Oops. Now let's just put new state here. We're just gonna do the string for now. We can add the timer later. So what should we do? What should we do? I remember Magetta saying that this function should call itself. I remember that. State. State. Right, Magetta?
Uh, yes. You just, I mean, yeah, you're gonna keep consuming the uh, same connection. What else did we put on the state? I even forgot. Let me pay
We have
attention.
in the
Sorry.
state we have where is it? We have the user PID. We have the connection to
Yeah.
the database. We have
It was the
the
user PID, so we can send the messages from there. That's why.
yeah, no, we definitely want to do that. But there was something else I wanted to do
Yeah, and that should not change. So that makes
here. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna grab this
okay.
and put it in here. So what do we want from this thing? We want this to be called state. And then what we want? We want the user PID. The user PID. And I believe we're also gonna want the connection.
Yeah, we need it.
This thing's so fucking convenient. I love it. Okay. So this is gonna be well,
Okay, so
actually
do
not
we
it.
have
How
to
do you
use?
set the timer? Let's. let's do that.
I don't have no idea.
So if PID is not finished in 10 seconds, kill him. We change our mind.
Okay.
That's cool. Okay. The following example shows how to print hello world in 5 seconds. So this is gonna apply. So you put them apparently the module and then the
Oh,
function and
wait
the
a
arguments.
second. What the heck is the PID
This one?
as the argument? Yes.
Well, of this process, we just spawn a process.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna okay. You're gonna make the so it's the opposite then. It's gonna be the yeah. This PID will be oh man. I just wanted a sleep. Can you find sleep? Because
Sure.
this is a timer, not a sleep, right?
Zip.
Yes, we want a sleep.
Suspends the process calling this function for time seconds and milliseconds and then returns OK or suspends the process forever
Yeah,
if time is the
the
atom
timer is
infinity.
like to trigger a PID, right? That's not what we want. Trigger do whatever. I don't understand, but this needs to be it.
Okay. So what do we want to sleep then? So timer is sleep. Sleep. And then we put the time in milliseconds. So how much time do we want in here?
Put something like 1 second, 2 seconds. I don't know.
Okay, so it's in milliseconds. So let's say 1 millisecond, and then this is 1 second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Be
this
right back.
returns an OK. This returns an OK, apparently. So I'm actually gonna ignore it. So, um, wait, do we really want sleep though? Because as far as I can tell, we wanted to have the timeout to be able to have a timeout on the database things. Am I wrong?
Uh, I'm out on the database things. Hmm.
No, I actually don't think so. I think this was before Magetta said that we're gonna use the system of notify because there's no notion, there's no necessity anymore. There's no need for having a timeout system to send data to the user if you're going to use the notification system. The
Yeah.
notification receiving a notification is the time to send stuff. So yeah, I don't think actually we need this here at all. We don't need this at all. So now let's go to GitHub and let's see how to. That's not what we want. This is what we want. So let's go. Receiver is PID.
I'm back. Man, I'm addicted to Pizza Power. It's such a good game.
You are addicted. I see.
Man, have you seen Pizza Tower before?
I never seen Pizza Tower. No.
Oh, it's like you know Wario Land, uh, Zeno.
Nope.
Oh
He
man.
said.
Okay, so Wario Land is a series for the Game Boy where you play. It follows the Mario Land series. So you had like Mario Land 1, Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, and then you have Mario Land 3, Wario Land, which is the first Wario Land. So it's like a connection of the story where you play as Wario, which is like, well, you know who Wario is. Um, and the fun part of the game is that it's very humorous. Like you play as this greed guy just trying to get rich. Uh, and if he happens to save the world, it's just because he's actually man. Wario is I didn't know about this, but Wario is German, like according to Miyamoto. And in the Mario Party 2, I think I thought Wario said back when I was a child. Uh, Wario says, "Oh, I missed," and I thought he said that, but he actually says, "So I missed," which is like, "Oh darn it," like in German. So anyway, I probably butchered German, but well, who cares? Anyway, so Wario Land is like follow up from that series, and it's very different from Wario. So you have like Wario Land 4, which is very fast paced and very clever exploration design. and
Yeah.
then some guy, but basically Nintendo never made a Wario Land follow up, and then this weird guy made an indie game for like a spiritual successor for Wario Land 4, and then it's amazing. It's called Pizza Tower, but it's like goofy and all that stuff.
It's
Anyway,
goofy. So I'm trying to decipher here how to use this notification system thing. So what is
so
okay and what is the previous in this case here? Set
I
notice
think
receiver.
I think these are states of the payload you're sending.
Wait, who is sending?
Because here's the thing: the notification, the notify on Postgres, gives you a optional payload. So it will trigger the thing with an optional payload, right? I
Yeah.
think the second thing is that. But can you look in the? If you had an LSP, it would help considerably.
No, the
But
documentation
since
is
you're
already
not,
saying.
well, this is
Another
not
way
the
to set
docs.
notification receiver is to use this function. It returns
It
previous
returns
async
previous
value
async
using
value.
define to disable notifications.
Previous async value, yeah, that helps nothing. What is that?
But the link here is for Postgres. Look at the bottom there.
Alright.
BRB.
Look at the bottom there. Yeah, it is exactly the same thing that we just read. So, message formats. So this is the format of the message, maybe. Notify. Okay, so what is the function register? Do we have a function register in this thing? Maybe. Okay, let's actually try to do what Magetta wants.
Oh man, you read the comments in the video. Italians are the go-to for platform characters.
So server. Okay, I have LSP now. Ooh. Uh, no, thank you. So what do you want to check, Magetta? This doesn't have anything.
Um, well, that tells us a
That's
lot.
good. That's good, boys. That's very good.
And I think we should start on Postgres and then understand the behavior, and then only then we try to do this.
What do you mean by doing this on Postgres first?
You need to do a notify on Postgres.
Ooh, a
Like you
notify
need
on
to you need to
Postgres.
trigger something, right?
Name
That's
of
the
the
whole point.
notification channel to be signaled. But how are we gonna provide the channel for Postgres, bro?
Like it works like this: you listen to something, and then you notify something when something else. So, for example, I say listen ABC, and then I do notify ABC. So you're gonna get the async uh, notification with API ID, like and all this stuff. So
Hmm.
with from the server, right? So you're gonna get summoned with that, but that has no payload. You see, so the previous there would be empty, in my understanding. But I don't know how this interface works. If it's actually listening
Yeah, but that's the
to
thing. I
anything.
don't think we can escape the interface because that's how we're gonna detect that this is the
Yes.
time.
So it's marking set notice receiver. So can you scroll to the right?
Yeah,
Let
my
me see what
understanding
it
is
looks
that
like.
we are passing ourselves.
Okay, perfect. So and then it does what?
I think it sees the
Receiver
connection and it gives you a tuple, which is an okay
set
and a previous. I
notice
don't know what
receive.
previous is.
It's the data.
Ooh, but how is this the entire
Optional
data of
data.
the database?
It's just one thing. It can only send one thing as a message, which is a string, by the way. So you're gonna have to convert the serialized data to
Wait,
like JSON,
is this the
whatever.
delta between the previous state of the database and the new one?
That's what I said. Yes.
No, no, I remember you saying that,
It's
but I
yeah,
that
it's the change
that's kind
thing.
of not very useful.
But I
Here's
am curious about the register. down because it's saying register and then notify receiver self, and then again I don't know why the A there, like EPG A. I don't know
Oh,
why
I
that A.
haven't even noticed that.
And they have an I. Oh, yeah, no idea actually. I
No, I
remember
think I
seeing
think we
that
can use
though.
this one. I think because we can just say I am the process that should be triggered by this. So you just put self here. That makes sense to
Yeah,
me.
okay.
The problem is
So
that is actually that's a question. Do we do we actually that's a very good question. If the database is shared across everybody that joined into the server because we are using the same connection for everyone, if you Mageta, if you move your character,
modify
am I
everybody
gonna
gets
be triggered by
broadcasted.
that?
I think it's a broadcast, yes.
Ooh, that's very interesting. So this delta can be anything from any table.
I
Hmm.
think this should be the state of the map.
I think it should be the state of the map.
Yeah, because then it makes sense to broadcast
No, but
to all
it
the
also needs
components.
to be the character's positions, right? Because if you're moving on your screen
It
and we
should
are
be
in the same
filtered.
region,
I agree it should be filtered because if you're not in a map A, users that are in map B, whatever, they're gonna get notified with users on map
okay,
A.
okay,
Yeah.
I have a proposal. Let's just print for now what the heck the previous is, just for testing purposes. And let's put that as a comma. And I think it's that's gonna fly. So let's see previous. Oops, previous. And we're gonna say this
Call it data, man. That's what it is.
data, and then here we're gonna just put previous. Well, data, I guess. Data. We're gonna have that, and this is a sync, which means that sometimes we're gonna receive something, and some other times we're not gonna receive anything.
And then what I meant about the time, the sleep was that, by the way, because otherwise you're gonna keep. Oh, okay, but if you're gonna wait on the string, that doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter. We're gonna need the sleep slash timeout on the timeout user. That's for sure.
Okay, so
Uh,
go down. Oh, why is it complaining down there?
I have
Can you
no
save?
idea. I saved. Oh, I see the problem.
Yeah, because now we have to access the. Oh man, big
Boom.
cringe. Okay.
And then we have the stream PID. Actually, how do we detect? I don't need to I don't want to bind this name. How can I just check if something in a map is available? The key. So map
Something in the
Erlang.
map.
How to check if a key
If a
is
map
available?
contains something, I think you have uh this is
Contains.
not a map. Search on the map module. There's a maps. Try on the LSP, man.
Oh,
Oh, there.
maps.
Yeah, but try on LSP. I think it's easier. Maps.
Maps.
Oh, QB. Man, please disable company mode later. Please do this for
You
me.
even know the cause of it.
Filter from keys.
Get?
Find.
I don't want.
Yeah, I
That's not
think
what I want.
it's.
I want
But
to
you
know
want
if a
to know if a
is
key
key.
is
Yeah,
key.
I
I
want to know
think
if
yeah.
a key is present in the map.
Yeah, I think it's this then.
So
Returns
returns true if
true
a
if
map
a
contains
map
key and
contains
returns
key and
false.
returns false if it doesn't. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna change this thing to an if. So if, and again, if Erlang, I will always forget the syntax of this nonsense. Uh, so it's if, and then guard, and there is some sort of true nonsense. Yeah, I remember that. So let's see, maps is key. I assume you provide the map and you provide the key that you're interested in. So in this case, it's going to be stream PID. In the case that this is present, we're just going to fail miserably and say, bruh, somebody's trying to hack into your account, bruh. And then else, we have something else, true, there. And do we want, yes, we want that. Illegal guard, illegal. What? Magetta?
Oh, what? Sorry.
It is
Uh,
saying
oh
illegal
yeah, you
guard
can't
expression.
call functions on ifs in Erlang. So that's why you know. But you can call in a case, I think.
Uh, that is true. I even remember you mentioning that this is the
Makes
reason.
ifs kind of useless, right?
Yes, it makes them very bad. Okay, so in the case that we have a true, which is kind of opposite order now. Thank you. Now we're gonna put false in here. Uh, yeah, that works. That definitely works. Okay, cool.
Yeah, pattern matching on a boolean.
The
Yes.
reason is because we don't want to have to create a label, right? To just because we want to do a function call and for some random reason, ifs do not allow the function call. So I think this is testable already. So let's go from the beginning. From the beginning. So we are connecting to the database, and then we're spawning the handle master. The handle master will do registration for the users. It will for now do login, and there's some debugging stuff here. So in the case that you're trying to log in, what we're gonna do? We're gonna check if you exist, right? We're gonna check if you are in the database. Then we're gonna spawn a new process. We're gonna spawn a new process, um, providing as argument the user that this process will be responsible for and the connection to the database. And then we're gonna inform the client. Client, this is your guy now. This is your guy. And then in the handle user, what we're gonna handle if the requests from the list of characters from that user. If the user wants to create a new character, if the user wants to update a current character, and if the user wants data from a certain character. So that's our the operations. And if you click on joining world, right, we will spawn the user's stream user data process, which will be registering itself to the connection of the database. And for now, it will not do anything because in the future, what we're going to do, we will do the following:
You're gonna call
user
the
PID
PID. Yeah, send a message
and
to the
data.
database. Yeah, but for now, just comment this out.
Actually, because of Zig, this will have to be this. Let's comment that. So okay, so now we need to restructure how we communicate with these processes in the client side. So let's start. Let's start from login. So if I am in login, login. If I am in login, what are we doing? At the end, we are doing some sort of send. Yeah. So send payload, and then we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do that. So we need to go to the game state. We need to go to the game state, and we need to put something like handler, Earl handler, which is very interesting. What's the type of that? Does anybody know?
I was picking a book. What?
Mm,
Um,
I think I know. The question
Are you
was,
reading
what
something?
is the type of the PID? What is the type of the PID?
there's an ei.pid or something. Probably a bit of a longer name, but
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the answer. So let's go to the receiver and search for PID. Yeah, I think that's the type. Cool. So let's go back to the state and let's put this and say that initially you don't have a handler, at least initially. That leads me to believe. that this should not live in here. This should live in here. Do you agree, Marinho?
Mm, thinking from the point of view of what's convenient right now, yes. But thinking from the point of view of, okay, this is eventually going to turn into a messaging library, I would say no.
Really? Interesting. Because to me, it kind of makes sense to live there, even as a library. Um, so this is config. This is here. So let's just put handler here. Yeah, that makes total sense. So
Annoying. My internet decided to fail while I was talking.
that's annoying. I agree on that.
But yeah, shouldn't we have a separate shouldn't we have a separate structure for that? Because if we put it in the node, we're mixing together like the we're kind of mixing together the local node information with application specific data that we need.
I think you're right, actually. We are mixing the two things. So to do, put this into a separate struct to not mix things. Cool. So let's go back to the user menu. So we asked for the stuff, right? We asked for the stuff. We're going to receive something back, right? We're going to receive something back. So we're going to actually receive the handler. We're going to receive the handler PID. So receiver something something. So receiver.
Don't we have a server messages namespace for that kind of stuff?
That's where the definitions of the functions live. The calling of those functions happen in every single file. So const handler PID. And then here, handler PID. That's it. That's kind of it.
You're missing a semicolon.
I am missing a semicolon. So game state. What's the name? It's node. And we're gonna have handler. Actually, that is equal to this. Cool. And then now we need to define this function. Like that. So let's go here and just define that. So, oops, pub fn, and as always, we're gonna do that. And what should be the return of this? What should be the return of that? So this should be,
It should
man,
just return a PID, no?
no. It's always gonna be something like this, I think.
No. We can pass a type like that to the receive message function, but then unwrap the result. So in case we have an OK, we actually just return the PID, and otherwise we return an error.
Yeah, so we need a type like this. But instead of OK having a string, it's gonna have a PID. And then here, it's gonna be whatever the nonsense I copy pasted from before. So where is it?
pi.erlang PID.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's the thing. This is the type of shit that I really wanted to be able to do this, and just put T here. But okay.
But you can. You can just make a function that takes a type and returns a union with the OK being the type argument.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can do something like this.
So you can
Ascend.
return a type? Well, of course I know that, but I was not thinking about doing it like that.
Const type takes a comp time p, which is a type. Return the type, and it returns a union, which is tagged. You need to take OK of t
That's gonna be so
and
fucking amazing though.
error, which is a string, right?
Yeah, it's a string. Errors will always be a string, by the way. Errors are always a string.
And you can totally do something like this.
Ah, awesome. So that's. Ooh, okay, so it's gonna be the tuple. Let's put tuple response. Boom. Tuple response, and that's it. So now I just need to copy this, remove all of that, and then in here we're gonna make I don't know, handler type, and this is gonna be receiver tuple response. This we don't need to do. Oh, we're gonna have to remove the PIDs, bros. We're gonna have to remove the PIDs.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a little bit of a refactoring, but okay. And then we just do this. We just return that. Oh, actually, we know we will receive a tuple. That's correct. So this needs to be one. And what's gonna be the type of that? It's gonna be Erlang PID, and this is gonna be handler type. That's gonna be handler type. Cool. That's it, right, Marinho?
Um,
Almost sure. That's it.
you can just return the response. It's already a PID. No need to.
No, it is an OK. It is a tuple.
Oh, right. If it's an OK, but then you just need to do response.OK, actually.
Nah.
Uh, oh, but then what if it's an error? In that case, we
Yeah,
should
no.
actually.
We should do a switch on it and do like response and all that stuff. And then OK. I don't
Need to
recall.
capture the.
Uh,
Yeah, vertical
is
bars.
this? No, but
Just
the
return it. Yeah, just return the PID,
return item.
comma,
And then in the case of an error,
and you need to actually do the, add quotes because error is a keyword.
add quote.
Really, do you need to? I'm not sure now that I think about it.
So you do that, and then we're gonna
We
say,
can do a debug print the error message and then return an error tag.
yeah, but I forgot how to. Oh, there. So let's copy that. There, there was an error. Boom. There, and
Put
then
an S
return,
between the curly braces, otherwise it's gonna be annoying.
and then we're gonna error. Um, I don't know.
Did not get a PID or something.
Uh, did did not get PID. Oops, handler PID. Okay, okay, so that. Cool. So in here, we're doing that. We're gonna receive the stuff and we're gonna save that. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I wonder, should we already change these other functions here? Should we do that? Should we do that? So the receive logging response, where are we
We,
using that?
we probably should, otherwise we won't be able to log in, right?
Now this one we should maintain, but what about characters list, you know? And also, we have two characters list. Why? I don't think that's the correct thing. So I think we should provide a handler here. But at that point, why not just pass the game state here? We have three arguments coming from the game state, you know?
Yeah.
So let's do game state and yeah, this thing. Which, by the way, doesn't need to be a pointer because you're only gonna read it, right?
It needs to be a const pointer, but it does need to be a pointer, otherwise, yeah, the pointer comes before the const.
Oh no, it needs to be a pointer because we're gonna change the stuff using the node stuff from it.
It needs to be a pointer because we don't want to run the risk of Zig copying this huge thing over and over again on every call. Which is unlikely to happen, but it's technically possible.
I think that's very unlikely to happen. So, so in the case of we have this, what should we do? What should we do? Uh, interesting, interesting. Wait, do we need the handler PID here? This is not sending. We don't need it. I think I said BS before. This can continue to be this, no problem. Oops. And the only difference is that we're gonna call receive run directly, right?
Yeah,
So
probably.
so this is gonna just be boom characters, and that's it. That's actually it. So now let's go through the process again. So I'm on the menu. I click the button. I put my
Actually, I
log.
don't think you should take the one field of that thing because it's not actually a tuple.
Oh, that is true. So actually, just let's just do return this clean. So clean, in fact, that makes the argument of like, do we really need this function?
Maybe not.
Now, let's keep it for now. So let's go back here. So I put my credentials there, and I send that to Erlang. And okay, and then Erlang will tell me, bruh, here's your PID of your handler now. After that, we're gonna go to join, right? We're gonna go to join, and join is here, and uh, that's interesting. So you see what's happening there? It is expected to be poked before. So the extra receive that I added now makes this problematic. You see, Mari?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to change that. We're gonna have to change that. So how can we do that? How can we say to the server, how can we say to the server, bruh, can you please send the user more stuff? Ooh, look at that. I was wrong.
Oh yeah, that one still is returning the PID around the thing, except it's the new PID this time.
Okay, but then is this correct?
That should work, yes.
That's awesome. So now we can basically receive two things. we can receive two things. Okay, so now we need to update this because now this is not correct. This is not freaking correct. So in the case of tuples not being tagged unions, how are we receiving that? I don't remember at all. I don't
Uh,
remember at all.
I'm pretty sure if you have a tuple type as your target type, that should work.
Tuple type. What?
Like, if you know how some structs are actually tuples,
Yeah.
if you have a tuple type as the type that you're receiving, you can actually receive a tuple from Erlang.
Is this like that? Or am I going crazy?
Yeah, you need to do std meta tuple around that. But yeah, it's kind of like that.
Meta tuple.
Yeah, and you need parentheses because it's a function. Takes a tuple of types and returns a type.
Like
Actually, it
this.
takes a slice of types to be more precise, but
Yeah, it's fucking ugly as hell, but that's okay.
the ampersand is, yeah, before the dot.
So that's what we want, right? That's what
Uh,
we want.
handler type is a tuple
So
response
handler and
containing a tuple,
email. It's handler and email, by the way.
which is a string and a PID, and then the response is okay. We just return the thing, but then we need to fix the return type, which is kind of
Yeah,
annoying.
it's gonna be the same
Just
ridiculous.
put just put that into a constant outside of the function.
Okay, so what's gonna be the name of that? It's gonna be handler with email. Boom. This monstrosity. And then we're gonna say handler with email. And then this is handler with email. Just like that. And I believe I'm also gonna have to put pub here. Probably. Maybe. Actually, I don't know. Let's try without it first. Uh, so now, how do I destruct these things? Because now this is not simple. This is like actually, let me grab that back.
I mean, you can technically just do this.
And we're gonna say const handler with email. So how are we gonna? And then there's also, where am I doing that? This thing. Let's grab that. Put it in here. Uh, oh, that works.
Yeah,
So
it's zero
handler.
point. I don't remember if that was added on 0.11 or 0.12, but yeah, it works. It does work.
Okay, so this is gonna be handler, and this is email, right? Easy, easy.
If, in fact, you could even do this actually. Since you're just setting the things, you could have done uh, what was it? Game state dot handler.
Bruh, bruh. This is so awesome because now we can remove the switch case.
Yeah, you could have done something like this actually.
I'm gonna grab this switch case. I'm gonna put it in here. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do that also. Oops. So, where am I doing all of that? So, you are saying that I can game node and I can game state menu email. And that's awesome. Cool. Now, Um, so what are we doing exactly? We are asking for the character list. We need to keep doing that. So let's grab that. Let's put it in here. We don't need this anymore. So the first thing that we do is to ask Erlang, please give me the characters, bruh. Bruh. Then this switch case can all go. Removing code. Awesome. Awesome. Now, then we go to the character selection. Then we go to the character selection, which is this up here. So let's see. Are we doing a send anywhere? We're not doing any sends, believe it or not. So I wonder if you're doing some nonsense. So user registry, we need a PID for that. Okay. I see. So some of those functions, such as send character list and send character update, we don't need to send a PID anymore, right, Marinho?
Yeah, we don't.
The send user login, I believe we do, because we don't have a specific process for us yet, right?
We don't. Yeah, we do need to send our own PID
So
so
this is
that the
this is
login
only run.
handler. Yeah,
Awesome, and this is also only run. That easy. That freaking easy. Is the function public? No,
could
run.
be.
The answer is yes. It is public indeed. Cool. Okay, I think we are done then. This should be it. Now we go to the character, we select the stuff, we clicked on the character that we want to play with. We select the character data, and then we click to join the map. When we click to join the map, we're gonna go to spawn, which is this function up here. This function we were thinking about doing like this, but I think I'm gonna try to do the Magetta route, and we're only gonna send the stuff to Erlang. We're not gonna, how can I say? We're not gonna. That's weird. We're not gonna ask for data of ourselves. We're gonna assume we are right.
I mean, we did receive the data from Erlang to begin with, so
Yeah, no, but now the game's going, and we are the ones moving. We are the ones moving. So after all of that, let's go to here. This is the time. This is the actual time. So let's send the data to Erlang. Let's send the data. Send. Let's copy this. Let's put it in here. So the first thing that we need is the messages. We do have the messages. Cool. So send payload, and this is going to be a character update. What does a character update needs to be in order to be sent? It needs this thing, and we need to construct one of those. So we need to pass a struct. We need to pass a struct and the Erlang thing. So the first thing is the character. Oops. Is the character data, I believe. Character update. Yeah, character data. And then that's easy. We're just gonna do game state current character, I believe. We can actually check that. So the current character is an Erlang character, and this other thing is expecting a Erlang character. Awesome. Uh, and then we need to construct the username and the email to make the user info. Let's do that. So user info. That's a struct with these two things in it. How convenient. Um, are we ready? Bruh. Bruh. Are we ready?
We are a breaking generation of electric charge.
What? Could you repeat that?
I said we are a breaking generation of electric charge.
I didn't get the reference, but I'm sure it is a reference.
It is.
It is totally a reference, isn't it? I have a question. Mageto,
Yes.
Mm.
can you look at my screen for a moment?
Let me just finish editing a slide. Where's it?
Adding what?
A slide. Okay, what
We're
is that?
making a presentation.
I am. Yes.
For work?
No, it's for my church.
Oh,
So go
okay.
on.
So I have a question. So this is going to be the only piece of data that we are going to be sending to the server, which is basically the character's position.
Okay.
My question is, if our notification process is going to work for any delta, for now at least, that means that we should see the data of the positions being changed in here.
Wait, say it again. I don't know
Sure.
if I followed.
The We've basically finished refactoring with the new
Okay, to
strategy.
send on the frames.
Yeah, not only that, but also with the not having to send PIDs and all that stuff.
Okay.
This is going to be the only data that we are sending. And what we are sending basically this data here. So we are sending the username, email, map name that we are getting from the character that we already queried from Erlang before.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only going to be changing the X and Y position in the database, essentially. That's what the update is doing in Postgres. My question to you is, does that mean that this print should show us the new positions, given that they will be the only things that will be changed?
Okay, man. Sorry, my brain's already
That's
not
okay. That's okay.
okay. Say the
So
last part again.
we are sending to Erlang these three things just to do an aware clause of an update,
Right.
and we are actually just changing these two things here,
Mm-hmm.
as you can see in here.
Okay.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the only two things we're going to be changing is the X positions and Y position. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
My question is, does that mean that this print will only show the changes in X and Y positions?
Uh, I don't know because here's the thing. This notice you need to listen. This is like the listen. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to mark what you are notifying. We are not doing that.
Ooh, so you actually have the power to say which things of the database you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, of course. So otherwise, you're just gonna send what the entire database? That's
I
like the
was kind of
wall.
thinking that you would just send what changed between the
No,
snapshots.
no. You need to do something like uh, we can trigger the function like I think it's pg notify. Search for pg notify.
PG notify. Python.
Well, that's probably a library in Python, but it's on probably the docs as well.
PG notify. To
Okay.
send notification, you can also use this function.
Oh,
The
you can
function
also.
takes the
So okay,
channel.
then the same thing as the notify then. Okay, let's go down to the example. That's better.
Cool.
So that you see, you're gonna do a listen and then notify with the payload. So asynchronous notification with payload, blah blah blah.
Mm.
So you need to make the database run a process notifying this thing that's listening. How the heck do you do this on this Erlang library? I don't know, but we should mark something that we want to listen to, right?
Okay, let's do the following. Let's try to run it and see if it's gonna work. We change a
Uh,
lot of things in one shot, so maybe we're gonna have to debug some stuff. So let's start with the server. The server is already unhappy. So line 10. So line 10. So it's saying handle message. We don't have a handle message anymore. That's cool. Next. Uh, that seems wrong. It's saying function update true is unused. So probably I forgot to export those. Yeah, definitely. So update true and retrieve true. So let's go with that. Okay, doesn't mean much, but the server apparently is doing some stuff. So let's just see how Zig explodes. So server messages, as always, I keep forgetting that for some reason structs and all that stuff. So it's saying 73. They have to have these things. Use of undeclared something something. So we need, oops, we need to go to the config, grab this, and at least for now, put it in here.
Yeah, that's not gonna help.
What?
One of the messages is that we got rid of the maybe characters variable.
We got rid of that. How? 149. Um,
Right, you should probably just put a const maybe characters in front of that try, I think. Right.
that you're correct. Maybe you are indeed correct. So next up, so 158, use of undeclared game state. So probably I did some wrong stuff. So 158. Next up, another one. What am I don't understand what happened there, but okay. How these do not blow up before? Very good question. Uh, no field name character update in line 82. Character update. Character update. Oh, action. I see. Character update.
Do we really need the action to be a separate enum? Are we actually using that anywhere?
That's very good question. Maybe
Because
not.
if it's because if we aren't, you can just do a union of enum instead of a union of action, and then
Don't have to care about that. Yeah, that's good. So 110. So expected that found this. Uh, oh, that's not a string, brother. Brother, that's not a string. So yeah, these two things are not strings. Do we have numbers in the sending? In this version of it?
we should have,
We
yes.
don't. Oh no, we have numbers. We do. Oh, thank God. So number. Thank you, compiler. Expected this. Found U64.
All right, because we need to wrap the thing in the other thing.
Wait, what? Will you repeat that?
We actually need to do the. If you scroll up to the top of the namespace, there should be a number type struct somewhere. I think it's actually inside of the sender, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah, that.
we're gonna have to create one of those.
Yeah, just wrap the number with that thing, and it should work.
Uh, So we have U64, so it's EU64. So struct, well, boom, U64.
We are electric.
Boom. Okay. Uh, what? What is this?
Else prong required when switching on type void.
Oh, it's I think I know. I do think I know. So there may be characters. This is a send, bruh. We need a receive. Apparently, I got rid of
Right,
the receive. So this is
right.
character, not this one. This one. Uh, yep, here it is.
Receive characters list. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if that worked. Oh, it did. Cool. So thank you, Magit, for saving RSS. Boom. Boom. So give me the characters. That error message is bad though. This is a bad error message.
I
Next
mean,
up,
it is technically correct.
root struct of array has no. What the heck happened? There were some case sensitive nonsense going on. Oops. The heck happened?
Yeah,
So
array list is a type constructor.
what do you mean?
You remember when I wrote the function that takes a type and returns a union?
Yeah.
Array list is kind of like that.
No, no, I got that, but this is the correct naming.
No, but the problem is that you're giving it a character when it actually expects a type.
How was this working before? There's something really wrong in this file. Let's see. Let's actually see. So what I was doing before, I have no recollection at all of what I was doing before. Oh, it is game sensitive. It's because of the casing. What the heck happened? I may have done a wrong shortcut for Emacs for some reason. Yeah, the completely nuked stuff. So probably it is this thing. Redeclaration of messages. What?
So you're importing the same thing twice. Just don't do that.
But
There's no point.
how am I actually doing that? Oh, I am doing that. Cool. Next up. Okay, that is understandable. We need to do an if. Because the position of the character may be bogus. May be bogus. Actually, that's an interesting thing. Now that we're following Mageta's idea of actually not having the position being like retrieved from the server, and we're actually doing this in the client and just updating the server with this information, we can actually go back to the previous um, we can actually go back to the previous thing. So where is it? State. Yeah, we can get this back. Boom, and we are in fact missing one of those. I am moving stuff. Right, I am moving stuff. I am moving stuff. How is this possible? Is the server broken? No. How did I do that?
Magic.
Do you see the problem, Marie? I see the problem. Do you see the problem?
What is supposed to be the problem?
We like I added this line here because I didn't want to spend too much time adding the login credentials and all that stuff. But the server didn't break. How is that a thing? Because we are basically jumping straight ahead to the spawn. You see?
Yeah.
But in order to do the updates, in order to do this, we need to have the username and the email. You see the problem? And the character's current game stats.
Are we even sending messages to the server at this point with that shortcut?
That's the thing. My understanding is that we shouldn't, but nothing broke. The server is
Yeah,
still up.
because
This is still up. What happened there?
we just jumped to the game world, except we're not talking to the server, so we're just doing everything locally, I guess.
No, man. This is the function that does everything locally. Spawn. I'm gonna go over it again because I don't think you see the madness. We are going to go to spawn immediately. Even like when we start the game, we configure everything, we connect to Erlang, we spawn the window and all that stuff. We immediately ask to go to spawn. What does that does? That go runs this, which loads the model, and immediately sets us into the spawn scene. Agree?
Yeah,
That means that we're going immediately to this. Agree?
yeah.
Which means that we are running the try. But how are we running it if we are not if we don't have any data?
Don't we?
We don't have this because as far as I can tell this is null. Oh no, this is not
No,
null.
it's just
This
no,
is
it's not
empty
no.
character.
It's
Empty character.
yeah. There's a bunch of default values there.
But what about the other things? The username and all that stuff. So what do we have in the username? Oh, we have a bunch of zeros.
Yep,
And what is the email? An empty string. Okay,
yep.
that doesn't answer how Erlang didn't break. Agree on that?
It does actually
How? How is like the server is not screaming to us saying that we are wrong?
because in the handle user, um, oh, we're not even reaching the handle user,
We're
right? We're
handle
actually on
master
the
only.
handle master. Yeah. We have a default clause, the PID value thingy, right?
Yeah,
As long as we send a tuple with two values, it shouldn't break.
but we're not doing that because we're not sending with a tuple anymore. Remember? Because that send is supposed to only be handled by the handle user. Uh, wait. Yeah, I don't follow. I don't see how the server didn't break. But let's not let's try to just make see how far can we go. I'm gonna comment
Actually,
that line.
what is the semantics of receive when it doesn't match anything? Does it blow up?
Mageta.
What? Sorry.
If you have a Erlang receive and nothing
Hmm.
matches, what happens?
If you have an Erlang receive and nothing matches,
Sorry?
it will break.
It will behave something will explode.
Yes, because you're sending a message. It's like an incomplete pattern match. Like it's not gonna match anything.
You see, Marin?
Hmm.
I have no idea what happened there. Ooh.
Maybe no one does.
Okay. That's pretty bad.
Maybe the server did die, but the client didn't care.
No, but the logs I saw the logs, nothing died. Okay,
Are we
so
even logging stuff if they die?
no, if they die they will explode as always, as expected. Okay, let's kill this thing because probably the server exploded now for a reason. Oh yes, it definitely exploded. So, error in process. Undef, handle user connection user PID. Undef?
Oh, did you remember to recompile the server?
Yeah, of course. I don't see. Did I forget to save anything? No. I think I think something is really wrong. I don't know. So, oops. Uh, boom. Yep, broken. Queue
Okay, login
process.
is broken.
Yeah, it's saying the same thing. Exact same thing.
Server handle user. We don't have a handle user function anymore, do we? Did
What do
we
you mean?
forget to rename that atom somewhere? Because it's called handle master now.
No, man. No, 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 no. The handle master is being used in here when in the start because you're using application behavior. Then inside the handle master, we spawn another process called handle user, which is this one. And I think it's failing on this exact line, and the reason is because it's saying the values of the connection and the user PID. But I don't know why it's failing to do that. Why it's failing? What are we doing wrong?
Hmm. I really don't know.
Agatha,
What?
look at my screen, please.
Uh-huh.
So look, the Erlang server is saying, dude, something happened when trying to create the child process.
Uh,
This line.
let's see this
What's
line.
what's the problem?
Wait, go back
Undef.
there. Go back there, please. Go up.
Go up.
Why is it complaining on the handle user up there?
Do I
It's
need to
unused.
export this?
If you do, that's very cringe. But
Okay.
try. I think
Mm,
yes, because then it doesn't understand. Oh man, yes. I think you do.
Really?
Try it again because I think you can't spawn because you need to qualify with the module right in the front. So
That's
that's
kind of
probably why
cringe.
it is. But at least it makes sense because if it allowed, you would have a non-exported contract that you can access the same way.
Okay,
Did it
the client
explode?
just exploded. Let's see
But
the server.
what about the server? Oh, it
Oh,
did create.
nothing happened. What?
Yeah, but
Why?
now it's used.
But nothing happened. Why? I don't understand. Why didn't it print this? What was the print?
that doesn't print.
User's email. So it actually printed this thing. So it means that it tried to send this, I believe.
Yes.
So that leads me to believe that Zig broke. But how? We just got locked on Raylib. We don't know what happened now. Oops. So, Marinho, ideas, bro.
You know what it could be?
What?
Uh, you know how we're saving a file descriptor, right? That connects to a particular process. We're not trying to talk to a different process.
Yes. And
So shouldn't we have a separate file descriptor for that?
I don't follow. I don't follow. My why like this line is not running? Well, if it's running, why are we not receiving this? We.
Are we receiving that message on the client side? We are, right?
We don't know. I don't know how to know that.
Okay, go to the code, to the line immediately after we send this login message.
So debug. There's no print in here for me to copy paste. This one's good enough. So before that and after.
We're sending the payload, and then we're trying to receive the handler an email.
We are about, oops, to receive stuff. And here we received stuff. And boom. And get to there. Boom. We
We did
received
receive something.
stuff. We received stuff. Okay. Let's actually print this quote unquote stuff. So this is gonna be I don't know what the handler will be, so I'm just gonna do that. And the email is definitely a string. So boom, boom. Let's see what the heck we received. And it's broken. So what is wrong? We need to put dots.
No, we don't. It's a type error though.
Type error on what?
Cannot format optional without a specifier. Oh, one of those fields is
The handler
optional.
is
Oh,
optional.
never mind. The handler is optional. Yeah, just put a question mark in between the curly braces, I think.
No, that works. So let's see what the heck the server is telling us. Boom. Oh. Okay, it's telling us a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if this makes sense. So I'm gonna assume this is ASCII, and we are just not gonna talk about it. And this is the email. So it is correct. It is correct. So that means that it is on this other thing that we are failing miserably. It is on this other thing. Cool. Uh, ooh, I think I may know. So the character list. Let's see how I was sending the character list. Character list. Oops. Here. So we're saying we want to ask for the character list. So what are we doing? What are we
Which PID are you using to run the sender?
I think none.
We're using the wrong one, I think.
I think we're using none.
No, we're using the wrong one. Because here's the thing. Run assumes that we are getting a PID from a standard place, right?
I have no recollection. Let's check. So run this one.
We have node. Um, and then we do a send.
Yeah,
And then we do
there's
the,
no
yeah, we
there's
do
no
the rec
PID
send
in there.
using the, yeah, we use the file descriptor. That's the problem. We need to change the file descriptor to talk
Oh,
to the,
ooh, wait. There's another way. There is another way. What about making a function? And for now, we're gonna just call this PID. And then in here, instead of doing whatever this nonsense is, which is us, we're just gonna do EC handler. Hmm?
EC handler.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna have to do EC handler uh, PID,
Yeah, that's not a problem.
and then that, and then else. We're gonna return some sort of error nonsense here. What if we use this function in the sending there?
Yeah, that, I don't think that's a problem.
With PID. Why not? Why not? and that's not the correct place. Why? What do you think it's the problem, Marinho?
I still think it's the file descriptor.
You still think it's the file descriptor. Which one? Which part of here? Oh, the line
Oh,
79?
line 79, yeah.
Why?
See, actually, it may not even be the file descriptor. See, we're sending to a named process, right? Because we gave a name to the login thingy, right?
Oh, this is what I said is nonsense. My bad. Continue. We don't want to send the
Yeah,
PID of the handler in the as a tuple. That's nonsense.
yeah, that's nonsense. Yeah, we need to change the process that we're talking to because right before we were assuming, okay, there's only one process that we have to talk to, and
How are
then
we? Where is the
it's down there.
PID?
It's down there, way down there. See, we're running the EI reg send on line 79. We're giving it the C node, we're giving it the file descriptor, and we're giving it a process name.
Yeah.
But that name is the name that we use to talk to the login process. We don't need to talk to that process anymore.
Oh, so we're gonna have to find another function that accepts the PID.
I think the EI reg send may accept the PID actually, but let me double check.
You mean here?
Let's see. It's a C node.
Oh man, but then we're gonna have to change. I'm too tired to do this right now. We're gonna have to change because in the first sending of data, the receiving data of data ever, we're gonna be receiving
Actually,
from this guy.
actually, we shouldn't use the reg send at all because that's for named processes. We need the normal send.
Oh, that works. Thank you, Marinho. So you're basically saying to me, just check if the handler exists, and if it is, we're gonna use something else.
Yeah, if the handler exists, we do a ei.send instead of an ei reg send.
What's the function?
It's
Send.
ei send, yes, and um, it takes four arguments. It takes the file descriptor. It takes a PID, a pointer to a PID actually. It takes the buffer and the length.
So we don't need to pass this other thing here. Is that it?
Um, yeah, I think that's it. And change the error to be a send failed instead of reg send fails because we're not using reg send in that line, line 80.
Cool. So now if you go back to the server messages, boom, boom, this should just work automatically now. Go. And it's broken, as expected. No field name handle. It's because it isn't a handle. It is handler. Cool. So expected blah found this other blah.
Oh, it doesn't expect a constant pointer is the problem.
How can I?
Just do a const, just do a const care. Well, actually put an asterisk in front of the capture up there, line 79.
Uh, 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 Star where?
There, right there.
What are we doing
Yeah,
with that?
and the address of on line 80, get rid of that. Because then
Oh,
you're capturing it by location.
by location. Wait, can you explain that again?
Instead of capturing the value of the PID, you are now capturing the address of the PID.
Ah. Oh.
There we go.
Okay. Let's pick whatever that name is and boom. Okay. I actually have no idea if you're actually sending data to the server.
We should
Uh,
put a print in the server to check if we're receiving something, right?
oh, there's an error. The server died already. The server died already. So let's read it. So what is saying? It is saying function clause, character update, blah 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 blah. So line 18. Line 18. Character update. Oh, it's actually comparing here. Line 18. I see. What's the problem? Function clause. How are we calling that? How are we calling that? I don't see the problem. Do you see the problem?
I dropped for a moment. Let's see. Function clause. Function clause. That means, what does that mean?
Like it tried to do the query, you see? It's saying character will be updated and then call this function and then this function blew up.
What's that function doing with its arguments?
It's grabbing the name, username, map name, X
Oh,
position, Y
I see the
position.
problem. I see the problem.
Sure.
We're missing the X position.
Uh,
Yeah, look at the error message.
Error message.
I see there's an action, there's an email, there's a map name, there's the username, and there's
This
the
thing
Y
is
position.
missing.
The X position is missing. We are
How?
not exposed.
How? I am extremely confused right now. How are we not sending the X position, bro? What?
I don't know.
That doesn't
um,
make any sense.
Go back to
Uh,
the Erlang code real quick.
that doesn't make any freaking sense. How are we sending the Y position but not the X position?
Go back to Erlang. I mean, technically, it looks like we're sending the X position from Zig. Otherwise, we would have gotten a compiler, I would think.
I don't understand how we did this.
Look to the caller of updates, please.
That is, oops, that is this one.
Okay. Action character update is the character map. We're passing the entire map to update, which means, the
Man,
problem is
what?
on the Zig side then.
What?
If
But
it's,
how did we manage to do that? Oh no, it is here.
oh, it's there. Huh.
What?
Okay, so that's not the problem. What is the problem? Action email, map name, username.
Like
Uh,
function clause, what does that mean? Like I don't really understand what it is supposed to mean. That we are doing exactly the same stuff.
Name, username, email. Are we sending the
We are sending all the stuff. There is the action character update, email, map name, username, X position, Y position. There's nothing
we're missing
missing.
the name. We're missing the name.
Ooh, we are indeed missing the name. How? Let's go to here. We are missing
That's
the
easy.
name.
We're not sending the name.
Yeah, but that's what Zero is supposed to fix later anyway. Because I'm doing this manually because, well, because you're stupid. But the correct way is on the go. Okay, so now let's just restart that and see if we're gonna manage to. I want to see if the game's gonna choke because of Postgres. That's what I want to see. Password, boom. This one, go. Pretty fluid so far.
Check the logs.
Check the logs. Bad match. Bad match.
Add
So
match.
it is on the character update again, line 26. Uh, line 26. Here. So this is failing.
Yep.
This is failing. I wonder how and why. Name, email, username, map name. I wonder why. I wonder why. Mageta,
Hmm?
could you check here the lines 24 and
Let me
25
just
to see if
finish
the
the line
syntax is
real quick.
correct?
Just give me just a sec. Okay. Uh-huh.
Lines 24 and 25, is this correct? Correct
24,
Postgres syntax.
24, 25. So update set blah that line where name that. No, that's wrong.
Ooh,
Comma
where?
should be end. On the second line, where name comma, there should be end.
Ah, okay, that's just being me stupid. Okay, that's cool. Boom, boom. We want this end here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. Let's go.
Please, I literally parsed right now.
Well, you are the professional.
Right. Let's go with that theory.
Boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Check the logs. New error. Uh, Object not in prerequisite state cannot update view character. That do Jesus. Oh, views that do not select from a single table or view are not automatically updatable.
Wow.
Wait, what is the error
To
message?
enable update in the view, provide an instead of update trigger or an unconditional on update do instead rule.
Wait, don't we do a instead of already? I thought we
Uh,
did.
we can check.
Yeah, the message is saying you're trying to update a view that is not a
View
updatable view.
there.
Yeah, which we do have this trash, you see?
Oh, instead of.
Yes.
But what is the
So,
update of or something? Instead of
oh,
update,
instead
we
of.
didn't. We
Yeah.
only have instead of insert.
Oh, right, right. So add the update as well.
I'm gonna have to use the beaver.
Um, I'm not
I'm
sure.
gonna
Not
die.
sure if that. I don't think that works, Lemos. I think you need to make another trigger.
Oh, I cannot combine them. How cool. Update.
Well, you can see. Let's see the syntax actually. Ah, I hate the Postgres syntax, man. It's worst.
Wait, we also need a function. Do we?
Do we?
Do we need a
Well, it's the
function?
same as the one before. Nothing changes.
Are you sure? I think we need to copy paste this and use updates instead of inserts.
Right. That's true.
Ah, man, I wanna die. I wanna die.
I can do that pretty quick for you.
Ah,
It would be very convenient
Send the
if
garbage here.
go, Marinho, go.
it would be very convenient if there was an upsert that we could use.
Oh yeah, there is. There is actually. On conflict, after the insert the values, blah, do on conflict, do, and then you do an update.
Okay.
Not a problem.
I cannot go further though. It's already 3 hours in this thing.
Let me do this really quick.
I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Where's this garbage?